So last thing to do. How's my hair? I can't seem to get it to do anything this morning, but I don't really care. I want to have a quick little talk about how I shop for thrift store point and shoot cameras. First things first, if there's a roll of film in it, I'll buy any piece of trash because someday I'm gonna get one with a fully exposed roll of film in it, and there's gonna be awesome photos on it, and I'll be able to turn that into a fun video. But when I do find cameras without film, usually they're a pass because they fall into the lowest tier of my 4-tier judgment of if I should buy this camera or not. Tier 1 are all the trash cameras, cheap plasticky things and off-brand names I've never heard of. Half the time the lens just says optical lens on it. What does that mean? I mean, all lenses optical? Second tier above that are the majority of what I find, which are the cameras often created by respectable companies, but they're low tier. They usually have a really long zoom range, which makes the lenses not that great, and the lens maximum apertures are really slow. And sure, they were fine for your mom back in 1995, but they're not really sought after by today's tone-seeking analog photographers. Tier 3, skip that for now, move straight to Tier 4. Tier 4 are the god tier cameras, or the meme cameras. These are the point and shoots that come with really nice optics, or someone got famous using them, so now they sell for a lot of money if you can find them. There's not very many that fall into this tier, but you know, they're in my head, so if I ever did see them, I would grab them immediately and probably just resell them. Third tier sits just below the fourth, and it's the cameras that share some features of cameras often found in the fourth tier, but it's stuff I'm not really familiar with, so I'll do a quick eBay search, and if it's not selling for like $300, you know, it's in like the $20 to $30 range. Something I might just buy just to play around with because it's probably a decent camera. Like this Minolta Freedom 3 AF. I believe the AF stands for ass f***, so this camera is free ass f***. Just kidding, it stands for autofocus. I picked this one up at Goodwill for sticker price $2.99, 50% off sale day, $1.50 at tax. It was like $1.61, so stupid cheap. It's nice. It's solid. It feels solid. It's got a 35mm f2.8 lens, which an aperture wider than 3.5 on a fixed focus are one of those like indicators that will make me dig further into if I should buy this camera or not. This had that. Minolta, they're a reputable brand. Sturdy. I've already learned 2 things about myself having bought this camera. One is that I have a really inadequate supply of rechargeable AAA batteries. I was hunting everywhere trying to find batteries to fill this camera up when I got it. And during the journey of trying to find batteries to fill this camera, I discovered 4 rolls of 35mm film I've shot at some point in the past and have never developed. I'm kind of really curious to know how old these are because I don't shoot very much 35mm. When I do, it comes out of a point and shoot, and I have not shot 4 rolls within the past year. So that'll be an adventure to find out what's on these. So it is tested with the batteries, it works. It makes a beautiful plonk. Just listen to this. Oh, that's a nice sounding camera. That's a god tier camera sound in my ears. Let's hear that again. Oh, beautiful. Oh man, I just do that all day. But what I'm gonna do is load it up, carry it with me until I shoot a roll of film, and then I'll come back, I'll talk about my experiences using this camera, and we'll look at the pictures it takes. See if we can hype this bad boy up and get it to sell in the $200 to $300 range instead of the $20 range that it seems to currently be going at. But my first order of business before I even load this is I need to clean it, because this camera is filthy. Every time I handle it, I feel like I need to go wash my hands because there's so much grime and probably dead people's skin on this. So clean it up, load it, shoot it, get back to you. by the power of 99% isopropyl alcohol, the camera is now clean AF. Excited. The viewfinder is way more prettier now. Couldn't really see through it before, but now it's good and clean. All the grime is gone. I don't feel like I'm getting cursed by touching it. But I did leave on the back, there's this gross old sticker that says that the camera was refurbished by Minolta at some time. It's nasty, but it's neat, so I left it on. So the final thing we need to do is put some film in the camera and let's go outside and take some pictures. Loading this should be straightforward. We just open the door here. Then we take our Portra, stick our Portra in the hole. Oh! It's got this handy gate, which I'm guessing will just lock in and foolproof everything for us. So we shut the door and oh, it's made noise. There we go. We got ourselves a loaded camera. So I guess the first thing that needs to happen is selfie number 1. Okay, it's been a few days. I'm sitting on frame 36, which this or the next one will be the last picture in the camera. So I'm gonna do something most reviewers don't do and take the last picture on camera so you can hear the awesome robot screaming sounds. Ready? Potentially last photo. Oh, got 38 on this roll. Smoke here, don't get it. There we go. Hear that? It's the sound of beauty counting down. Let's process these and take a look at what I got. Okay, we've reached the most important part of this video, the results. So let's start with the initial selfie. Look at that! One of the things I read about the camera is the minimum focus distance is about 2 feet 1 inches, so right about selfie distance, give or take. Due to that distance being the minimum, a lot of the stuff I took that was really close wasn't all that great. Kind of got in the border of where it was in focus and not. So if you're considering this camera for a selfie camera, might not be the best choice out there. Also take notice of the hair in the top right of the corner of the frame. It seems there was a big hair inside my camera, so every photo has this black squiggly on it. I could very easily Photoshop those out, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave them in there like a light leak. Maybe someday in the future when kids are done with light leaks on their film photos, they'll all start implanting hair into it. I can say this is where that started, this video. Moving on, we have graffiti under bridge. Nice little urban landscape photo that shows off in the corners how the lens gets kind of soft. It's really all I really have to say about this particular photo. Moving on, our next photo is this lovely abstract piece of a tree, what's it called, a skeleton, stump, a tree stump in a grate in the middle of the town with vegetation growing around it to show life is coming back to fight and reclaim the tree stump or something deep like that. Obligatory cat tax photo. Next photo is this picture of the Home Depot with a dark, ominous cloud floating over it. Ooh. Actually, the reason I took this photo is to shill my new workshop, which is about stormy weather over corporate America. It's gonna be called Big Box Storm. Big Box Storm, perfect name. It's a portmanteau of store and storm. You come hang out with me, you pay me $650. I teach you how to shoot storm clouds rolling over big box stores. Watch for a link. So one of the things about this camera that a lot of people probably won't get behind is that when you're shooting it in normal mode, if it wants to use flash, it's gonna use flash. You can't turn it off. You can tell it to always use flash, which is cool, because I am a flash slut from the Church of Ouija, and I kind of appreciate a camera that teaches the scriptures like that by forcing everyone to have a flash. But I can see where some people wouldn't really be into that, so that's something to think about if you're eyeing one of these cameras and you hate flash. But having the fill flash is a nice feature that I enjoy, such as in this picture. I took this one twice, once in normal mode where it didn't use the flash, and then once where I told it to use the flash, and this one is way better, makes all the colors pop, fills in those shadows. So if you're a flashy boy like me, this is the kind of results you can get with the Minolta camera. Next photo is one that I'm kind of upset it didn't really turn out, because here we have Old Lifty, the aerial lift bridge, and in front of it a sign saying, "No illegal drugs." Like, if you're gonna go on the lift bridge, you only bring legal drugs. But sadly, as you can see, the way the light board worked, either it's transitioning or the frequencies of lights didn't align with the shutter. Can't read it, really that great. Bummer. Next up, one of my bread and butter style of photos. A broken car! Ho 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 ho! So I kinda like these because I imagine in 30, 40, 50, 90 years times, once all the self-driving cars are the only thing on the road and we have better materials that don't bend or break, this could be some really weird, freaky stuff to someone in the future. They're gonna look at that and be like, wow! Back in the olden days, you could bend your car and stuff and people still just drove it around. That can't be safe. Wow! So that's why I like broken car photos. Moving on, here we have some very tasteful Duluth sidewalk and vegetation porn. A lot of green, if green is your color, this is a good photo for you to enjoy. Here we have a test of the auto exposure, putting all the dark stuff in one corner and a sunlit scene in the other, and it did a decent job. I mean, wasn't expecting it to expose for the shadows, but in this particular scene, just having nothing down there I think kind of works. You don't need those details all the time. And here we have a very worn rocking horse in an overgrown, unkempt playground. Middle of the day, still turn the flash on to get that boom Ouija effect, and I kind of really like it a lot. And I think of all the photos I took on this first roll with Minolta, if any of them are going to be haunted, it's this one. Moving on, we have a very important photo of a mattress laying on the sidewalk next to a lot of green vegetation. Once again, if green is your thing, this is probably one of your favorite photos of the bunch. But not to disappoint, next to it we have another abandoned mattress! Holy moly! You know what this needs to be? This needs to be a diptych. Look at that. Ooh! Side by side. Let's put some fancy, give it a fancy name. Look at, oh now this is higher. Even, let's crank it up a notch. Perfect. Sell that for a lot of money. And finally, the last photo of the roll. Another kind of out of focus selfie with the cat tax. So this concludes my experiences with the Minolta Freedom 3 AF. It's a decent camera for the $1.50 I paid for it. I don't think I'd go out specifically trying to buy this camera. The image quality was pretty good in certain situations, but in others. Ergonomics are nice, it shoots really fast and quick, I appreciate that, but it's also, for a point and shoot, it's kind of chunky. If you're going to carry around a point and shoot, there's definitely smaller options that will give you equal, if not better results. So there it is, and once again, I haven't thought of how to close a video, so B-roll!